Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is MazezRealm once again, and welcome to another episode of my series, The Arsenal. For this episode, I have got my aggressive close quarters overkill loadout for you guys. And I did mention that I was going to be revisiting the M1216 shotgun because it is one of my favorite shotguns to use in Black Ops 2. And I didn't think I'd revisit it this soon, but here is my loadout for you guys for today. So without further ado, let me jump right in to the loadout here. And as I mentioned before, it is using the M1216 shotgun as the primary weapon. And I've only got one attachment on the weapon, and that is the suppressor. For those of you who have watched my previous episodes of The Arsenal and have watched the episode where I did have the M1216 featured before, you would have known that I really love this shotgun suppressed. I almost like it better suppressed than I do with a long barrel on it. So that's why I have that attachment on there. And for my secondary, I have got the Vector K10 with the suppressor on there, courtesy of the Overkill wildcard that allows me to do that. And then for my perks, these actually took some time to perfect as well. I had some different perk combinations, but this was by far my best perk combination with this particular loadout. And it is actually using Ghost, Scavenger, and Toughness, courtesy of the Perk 2 Greed wildcard, and Dexterity to round out the loadout. Now, the reason why I used Toughness on this class was because the Vector K10 was my secondary, and I wanted to stay on target with that weapon. So that's why I used Toughness on there. So now, we'll go ahead and move on to the gameplay here, and it is Arms Race Team Deathmatch on the map Hijacked. And Hijacked, as a lot of you already know, is a great map for close quarters combat. One of the best maps in Black Ops 2 for close quarters. And that's why this loadout performed very well. Now, a really cool, unique thing about the gameplay here is that I actually had a teammate running the exact same loadout with the exact same perks and everything. And that was Marklinth. Marklinth was actually in this match. And I was telling him about this loadout before the match started, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and equip this loadout just like you have it, and we'll see how we do. So he was actually running the exact same loadout and found a lot of success with it as well, and you'll see that on the kill feed. When you see Marklinth's name pop up, he's using the exact same loadout, so he's using the Vector and the M1216, and he's going to town with the loadout, as am I. So we were basically rushing two different portions of the map with the exact same loadout and had a lot of fun. And that is something that I would recommend for you guys to do as well. If you find a loadout from the Arsenal that you really enjoy using, encourage your teammates to actually equip the same loadout and then, you know, rush different portions of the map, and you'll find yourself having loads of fun. And that's what ended up happening on this match. I ended up getting all of my point streaks quite quickly, actually. Considering the fact that I had a slow start on this match, and I was getting a lot of hit markers on this balcony here. But overall, it was a really fast-paced gameplay, lots of fun, very little deaths, and a really high kill-death ratio. And Marklinth had a really decent kill-death ratio as well. So keep an eye out for the scoreboard there at the end of the match so you guys can see how well this match performs in different people's hands. So that's definitely a really fun thing in this gameplay. But now moving on to the more technical side of the gameplay here, you see that I did get killed off of a spawn. If I could actually talk, that would be really good. But either way, my two deaths from this match were basically off of spawns. And once I get those deaths out of the way, it is just carnage on this map. Now, the cool thing about the M1216 that I like about almost any other shotgun is that it has a lot of raw firepower, but it also helps you conserve ammunition. And that's a really good thing, even though I am running Scavenger on this loadout, because you don't have a lot of starting ammunition for the Vector K10 or the M1216. So it's very good to have Scavenger equipped for this loadout. And the other really cool thing about the M1216 that I have mentioned before on previous commentaries is that when you're using it suppressed, it really doesn't hold it back at all. I mean, it still performs very well. In fact, I think it performs better because the enemy is normally completely oblivious to what is shooting at them. And since you have so many follow-up shots and only a very quick rechambering animation to slow you down just a tad, it still performs very well with the suppressor. And it actually performs well without a laser sight as well. Previously, I actually had this loadout without toughness, and I had it with C4 and a second attachment on my shotgun, and I had the laser sight on there. And I was noticing that I was flinching way more than I needed to, even when aiming from the hip with the laser sight. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of this laser sight, put toughness on there, and get rid of the C4. Even though I did miss a C4 from time to time, it did perform well as an aggressive close quarters class, and that's the whole role of this. A lot of you would probably remember that I did cover the Remington 870 with a suppressor and the laser sight, and that performs very well for a close quarters class. However, it performs well as a stealth close quarters class. This one performs very well as an aggressive close quarters class. So those are the basic differences of those two loadouts. I know that they're very similar in the perks. However, the dexterity and toughness perks really add to the aggressive feel of the class, and that's really what made this class a runaway hit for me and for Markland as well. So I'm really hoping that you guys enjoy this loadout. I'm really having a lot of fun with this loadout in Black Ops 2, and so is Marco, so I really hope that you guys enjoy this loadout. Also, I was having a lot of fun using the Lightning Strike, the Dragonfire, and the Stealth Chopper. You guys saw that I went on a tear with the Dragonfire, and my Stealth Chopper only gets one kill, and that's the final kill of the match. So if you guys did enjoy this loadout and do find success with this loadout, please go ahead and leave me some feedback and a like on this video. And until next time, this has been MazezRealm. I am out.